Welcome to this edition of Pain and a Purpose podcast. Now, these segments are going to be called Big Bruh, Little Bruh, Real Talk, where we just going to talk about real life experiences that we experienced and that we're currently going through. Hopefully, by us sharing our life experiences with the world, y'all can gain some insight and some information, and maybe it can help y'all carry out y'all day a little better. So with that being said, Big Bruh.
What's good?
What's good? It's Mother's Day.
It is Mother's Day, bro.
It's Mother's Day, and this is the first Mother's Day without our mom. And I don't know about you, but I woke up feeling some type of way.
How was you feeling?
I woke up feeling like I posted, like she was much stronger than I gave her credit for, or that I could ever imagine. Like the things that she withheld, and the things that she didn't say, and it proves the strength of a mother, right? In a different aspect to me, because she had to endure so much, right? And I find myself like going over different situations that me and her had, different interactions that me and her had, and now understanding why she was the way she was. Like even back in Union City, Los Robles, like I went all the way back there to the As We Lay and the Stephanie Mills Superwoman, and why she listened to the music selection that she listened to, and the Brandy and Milk. Like I have been examining the weight of Mama's life on her. And so I just woke up and sent a salute to her for being such a strong woman.
No, that's what's up. I woke up definitely with Mama on mind, specifically because, you know, when she was alive, me personally, I didn't honor her like I should have. And obviously circumstances and the way things unpacked on her journey, I didn't know that honoring her was an option based on how things unfolded. But when I look back, I woke up this morning honoring her today, and I honor her every day by carrying a picture, in my wallet of her, which I never did before. And I am uniquely in tuned with her voice, her spirit. I hear Mama's voice all the time, and it's crazy because she used to always be like, I'm your mama.
And I hear it a lot now too.
And now I get it. Like you reflecting, and let me say that I'm not living in regret. I'm just living in reflection.
No, I'm not living in regret either. Yeah. It's more of I could say reflection, but it's more like I have a lot of memories with Mama, right? And I have this thing now to where I'm trying to, like I've been telling everybody lately, my grief process is not going to be burdened with a heavy sadness anymore. Like my grieving process is just like a lifelong act of love to like Nana and Mama, because that's what they deserve. And grief is just another form of love to me, right? And I discovered that, like, going through all these grief books and what you're supposed to do and how this process is supposed to go, and I'm like, that ain't really my life. So I'm creating my own grief process. But when it comes to Mama, I have a lot of memories, and looking at the pictures, like we went over this, like when we first got the bucket of pictures, and you like, I remember this. And so for me, all those memorable moments are now overpowering the negative, right? Because when I look back at it, we didn't have many negative interactions, right? It was some, right? Nothing is 100% either way, but the looking at the pictures brings back the memories of when I was a kid, playing with the shell toys and us dressing alike in knee high socks, and you know what I mean. Just looking at those pictures, I'm like, that was. I didn't like you back then because I never liked to dress like you, but
You didn't want to be fresh.
no, that was not. That was the way they was dressing. This was not fresh. Not let's not lie to the people. I could show the brown shell hat. Like, why did our outfit come from the gas station?
That's all she had to work
I know,
with.
but I'm just saying though. But that wasn't fresh.
Yeah,
But
let me jump back in on because I wanted to finish my thought of my reflection. Things like you were saying, you were sharing some of your reflection in terms of you realized how strong she was after all, and how resilient she was after all. And well, one thing is that no, it wasn't all negative. What was negative was the narratives in our right, because of the frame that we put our relationship in for obvious reasons. Not so obvious for someone who doesn't know our story, but obvious for those who know the story. But for me, I also realize a lot of our characteristics, like you see, like when you think about her baby of Mama's Moments, right? Her creation of Mama's Moments was an entrepreneurial spirit that you and I both have, right? And she held on for that to the day she passed. Like, she loved Mama's Moments. She was the person who took pictures. Conversely, look how many pictures we take. So there's a lot of things that when you reflect, you go, you maybe couldn't see it then, but you see it now. So what it does for me, it helps me stand into the man that I am today, and how I will represent myself moving forward, in honor of the woman who brought us here. Because even no matter what, and this part of the message can go to anybody who's listening, when it comes to your parents, mother or father, right?
Yeah.
But specifically on Mother's Day, we're going to talk about our mothers. There's a lot of people, when I made the post when Mom passed, and I shared my perspective, there's a lot of people who inbox me or text me if they have my number to talk about their strained relationship with their mother, and they wanted help or guidance, or how do you do this or how do you do that. And all I can say is that I had the wrong expectations of Mama, and I was trying to hold her to a standard, the audacity, right, for me to try to hold my mother to a standard when Mama did the one thing and the only thing that she needed to do, and that was to give us birth. Because without her, there is no us.
And she used to tell us that too.
And she used to say
She used
that.
to say that. She used to say, if it weren't for me, it wouldn't be no you. And I'm your mama.
And how selfish and self-centered were we to ignore that and make it seem like we, did this all by ourselves. And so I'm saying to those that are listening, if you're struggling with your relationship, mother or father, just remember that they were the portal to which they are the reason why you are here. And your parents, you know what I mean? Like, they just trying to figure it out too. The same way, if you got kids, your kids is putting pressure on you, right? Because you trying to figure it out. It's the same thing with your parents. And I'll pause after this, but one of the most powerful things before Mama passed that I learned years prior was this exercise, the power of perspective, about doing some research to find out more about who Mama was growing up. Yeah. And a lot of us, you have no idea what your parents actually been through because, you wasn't there. And if you never ask someone that was there, a brother, a sister, your auntie, your uncle, your mama got cousins, right? You know what I'm saying? Your mama got first, second, and third cousins. Your daddy got first, second, third cousins. You might need to ask some people who witnessed, right, their experiences so you can get some insight.
Yeah.
Because the more information you get, then it will help you engage and process and show up differently. We were operating on limited information, and moms didn't have the capacity, the energy, right? And sometimes even the desire to try to explain or get us the information for a lot of different reasons. And so unlocking that next level of understanding in relationships that are important to you is crucial. So
Very.
as we sit here today on Mother's Day in honor, this podcast is brought to you by Mama's Moments.
This podcast is brought to you by Mama's Moments.
Because our mother, was a blessing to us. And like I said in my post, everything she did, say, or didn't say, everything she did or didn't do helped you and I be here today.
And to be honest, me losing Nana and Mama really did create the podcast, because it's the Pain and the Purpose podcast, where I'm trying to take all this pain that I've had to endure in a short amount of time and try to channel it in a positive light. Because it's so easy to be negative, right? And we can go on and on about the negativity, right?
Right.
And me actively trying to not take myself off the board, right? Because it like you tell me all the time, it's only a second decision, and it'll change your address for years to come. And I'm not trying to change my address, so I'm really taking this podcast, and that's why today when we was walking, I was like, today we gonna shoot it, and we're going to edit it, and we're going to put it up for Mother's Day, because in honor of both Nana and Mama, right?
And if you're just tuning in, Nana is my brother's daughter. My niece, who was brutally murdered last year, and our mother passed away in February. Yeah. So if you're saying this for the first time and you're trying to put it in context, today that is the space that we're speaking
That's
from.
A good one.
And I'm going to go back to guest. I had to jump into co-host real quick, but I'm going to get back into the guest seat. But
No, you're not. I guarantee you're going to jump in the whole seat again.
No, you should join, man.
But it's like honoring Mama now is a whole new level. And the way I conduct myself a lot of the times now is in honor of Nana and Mama. And like even with the forgiveness of our father, right? Like even that was channeled through Mama, because when I think about it, Mama didn't indulge like she could have, right? Like we both got like mothers of children that would have indulged differently in that situation, and she chose to protect us. That, like, I think she's even told me before, like, I'm protecting you by not saying what I want to say. And she's told me that when she was in Los Robles, and it was one of those conversations where she's trying to get me to stop sleeping with so many women, because I used to take just women to Mama's house, and she'd be like, boy, I don't want to meet another one of your girlfriends. And she's actually kicked a girlfriend out before, like, I don't want to meet her. Like, I don't like this. And so back then, I couldn't understand. I'm like, Mama, you called, you asked me for something, I'm bringing it to you, and that's just who on the car with me at the time. And she like, no, that's not how you do this. And she used to, like, lay into me for that. And back then, I'm like, my mama tripping.
Because you was triggering her.
Because it was triggering her, and I didn't understand that. So when I say I be reflecting and I be playing back all those situations, right? Because Mama called me, and I'll be with somebody, and I'm like, shit, we got to run to Union City real quick. Got to go take care of my mama. Ooh. And then, I walk in the house, and I got another girl with me, and she like, give me what you came for, and that's not the last girl. And she used to call names, and I'm like, Mama, you can't be calling names. And so it's just like things like that. And I thought she was tripping. Now, as a grown man, I'm like, that wasn't right, one. And two, she was triggered, like you said. And so it's like situations like that, situations like not leaving the basketball court, like don't leave the basketball court because I need to see you. And you would think that it was being overprotective, but she was just wanting us to be safe in certain situations. So I got a whole bunch of those type of stories, right? But today I woke up, it wasn't even a heavy heart. It was just like memory in honor of my mom, right? Like all the positive things that we experienced and going over certain situations, be like, that's why she did that, or that's why she didn't do that, and so.
I get it, and I think the important thing is just to be able to have that discernment, to be able to separate, the experiences, and now that you have more, and me as well, more emotional maturity.
Yeah.
Right, because we were emotionally immature for a very long time, and because we're so smart, we're very good at articulating, why we feel that way. And so emotional maturity is very powerful, and it could very much help you not have such a heavy heart when heavy experiences are happening to you, right? And so that helped, my experience with Mama's definitely advanced my emotional maturity. It is brought a lot of clarity to my perspective, my ability to take on multiple thought processes or view situations from different angles. And most importantly, as we reflect back on those pictures, the bucket of pictures that Mom left behind, because one thing about her, she had those pictures, right? But also seeing Mom in a light that I hadn't seen her in. So if you had asked me about Mama ever going to the beach, I would have said, my mama ain't never got a chance to go to the beach, because my experience was very linear of what I thought she was about because of how things happen. And when we talk, what we're talking about, and we don't have to unpack the whole thing on the podcast, but again, if you're just tuning in, you're trying to put in context, we're having this conversation around our mother. We lost our mother this year in February, and we grew up without our mother being in the house, because when her and my father got divorced, my mother had to leave. I used to think she chose to leave, but she had to leave.
She had to leave
in that particular situation. And she couldn't take us. She didn't leave us. She couldn't take us because she wasn't in the position to do so.
She didn't have the financial resources. She didn't have. She literally had to rebuild her life over from scratch.
Right.
And she didn't have the capacity to take her kids. That wasn't our narrative in the beginning. But now that we understand and we know more, like, she did the best she could, and so
what she had,
and when I think about that like that, I'm like, that's why I keep giving her the strong moniker. Like, Mama had amazing strength, when oftentimes the narrative was she was being weak, right? For me, like, the narrative was given to me as if she was being weak, when actually she was actually being strong. And on so many different levels, right? Just having to, I believe she was like 28 when they separated.
I mean, you'd have to do the math. If I'm 8, I was born in 73, so this is 81. She's born in 53, so you'd have to do the math. That's a 6 in there, so it's more like 26 probably, somewhere around there.
No, three and one. That's 28.
All right, let's do some math with it real quick.
53 and 71.
No, not 71. I was counting. This damn calculator don't work. No, so think about it. All right, I was born in 73, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was 8 when it happened. So
that's 28. So she was born in 53. She was born in 53. You was born in 73, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes her 20 when she had you.
Mm-hmm.
And you was 8. So she was 28.
All right.
28.
Okay.
In-home mother. No work history. No financial means to, and then I have to start over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at 28, having to start over, like that made her amazingly strong to me. I know 28-year-olds right now today in today's society that having a problem starting over. So whereas for me, I used to be like, why my mom always worked at Walmart, Kmart, and never advanced, because we the type of people that like to advance. But when you get that late of a start, like I started working at 16. Mm-hmm. So when you get that late of a start, it's very hard to catch up.
I think that's important because the power of perspective, because the narrative you think is that she could do more, but not factoring in where she may have started from. And there may be more information even today that we don't have, but that makes a lot more sense.
That makes a lot more sense
than
to me.
what we were seeing at first. And at the end of the day, when you think about her journey and all of the intricate parts of how, everything played out, definitely a lot of resilience. And we now know, even when we doubted, like how much our mother actually really loved us and the sacrifices that were made along the way. And the person that I am today at 50 years old, right, is being powered or empowered by all of this reflection, going back to the stuff the moments that I missed because you don't know what you don't know, or because I wasn't ready to receive it in a way. And so I find a joy and peace in knowing that I can see now, and knowing that she knew what was happening with her along the way. And again, for her to be the way that she was made us who we are today.
Most
and
definitely.
Now, to me, the combination of those experiences, the early years of experiences, now lining up today to where we are today, is only going to project us to continue to be great men and very powerful in the work and the service that we provide for others.
100% agree.
Yeah. And anybody should be able to do the same. Because I know your podcast. Now I'm sliding in the co-host.
Into co-host. But that's why this is called the Big Bruh, Little Bruh segment of the Pain and the Purpose, because Big Bruh just going to slide on in there when he feel the need to. So come on in, Big Bruh. That's why this is called the Big Bruh, Little Bruh.
Well, because I know that from pain into purpose is you're not just doing this just to be doing it.
Nah.
Right? Like your heart is saying, everything that I experienced, you experienced, you know that there's somebody one day is going to see episodes like this and get inspired, get clarity, get understanding, get permission, right, to look at things another way. And so what we're saying this morning is that, and again, we didn't pack in and give you the intricate details of the story and make it all juicy. Just know, if you are struggling with your mother, because this is Mother's Day, and you are holding resentment towards your mother for any reason, remember these words from a wise old man that says, holding resentment or holding a grudge towards someone is like taking poison yourself and expecting the other person to die. And what does that mean? It means that we hold these feelings that are slowly diminishing our character, tearing us apart, and you want it to have an impact on the other person, but really is doing all the damage to you. If you can keep the fact that your mother brought you here, and that's really all she needed to do for you to be who you are today. And even if you're not where you want to be in life, you're on your way there, right? Because it's hard to see the picture when you're sitting inside the frame. So it's time to move throughout life with a lighter heart and release a lot of the angst and the things you have towards your mother or anybody. You need to go, like Bruh said, you need to go on a forgiveness tour, right? And you need to forgive your parents, your friends, right? Your relatives, your co-workers, and most importantly, you need to forgive yourself. Because this moment right here is the only one that you actually have. So why not make the best of it? And now I'll go back to my guest seat.
I don't think I have nothing else to say after that. As always, have a blessed and stress-free day because you definitely deserve it. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there from the Bedford brothers. We love y'all. Go enjoy y'all day. Peace.